Mazda CX-5. One of the few SUVs I like so much I could actually buy. What you're looking at behind me is the past, the Volkswagen Passat, the present, a bigger SUV with a diesel engine, and of course also the future, because this one is a hybrid. So, because this is the present, of course it's a big SUV, because everyone wants an SUV. And as far as the diesel goes, well, it's sort of there. A lot of people are now changing over to petrol engines again, so we'll see about that. But the good thing is, because I tested this car quite a few times already on our channel, I now know how it drives, and after all these years, what I think should be facelifted, changed, and so on. And I know for a fact that a facelifted version is coming soon. So what would I change? Well, as far as the front goes, I really cannot complain, because I think this looks fantastic. So I'm not really sure if they're going to change anything at all. I would change these regular blinkers to LEDs though, because I think LEDs look fantastic. As far as the profile and side goes, not much to change here. I think it looks good. But as for here at the back, well, again, I would put LEDs in here, full LEDs, and I'm not really sure why it only has one exhaust. I think it would look better with two, but of course Mazda usually goes not so much for looks but for functionality, so I guess the diesel engine doesn't actually need a dual exhaust system. And as far as the boot goes, not much to complain here. Again, it's pretty big, it's pretty practical, everything goes in, no problem. When Mazda first unveiled the CX-5 in 2012, it was quite interesting. But I think it got completely transformed with the second generation, especially with this front end. The rear is also a lot more aggressive than the first generation, so I'm wondering how and if they will change it. The second generation definitely made a big leap in interior quality and prestige. The seats in the CX-5 are comfortable and available in cloth or leather. They can be heated and cooled. The passengers in the rear can enjoy heated seats as well. Now I'll take it for a drive towards the near future. Alright, so what about the inside? What would I change here? Well, obviously the first and foremost, the infotainment screen. It kind of feels a bit small now, you know, where the other infotainment screens are getting larger and larger and larger. And of course it doesn't have the newer infotainment system or software on it. But of course that's kind of a moot point, because that's probably the first thing they're going to change with the facelifted version. They're just going to put the new Mazda system in, which I think looks better and also probably works a little better. The second thing, this is really a minor thing, but the climate controls, when you first sit in the Mazda CX-5, they're all the way down here by the little cubby hole for your mobile phone. It's maybe a little unorthodox to have all the buttons so low down. I mean, it works fine. It's not like I have to go, oh my god, where are the buttons? But yeah, maybe lift that a little bit. The CD drive, I don't even know if anyone really still uses that anymore. You just plug your phone in or use Bluetooth, and that's it. So That's as far as the center console goes. As far as the steering wheel goes, the instrument cluster, I don't think they'll be changing the instrument cluster because this one with the top of the line equipment already has the LCD and everything, and the really nice looking rev counter, which is not digital, but it looks like it's digital because it's so nicely done. The steering wheel is fine. I don't really have much of a complaint. I mean, if I was really nitpicking, I would say that perhaps if you're holding it just casually, some of these inner buttons are a little bit, sometimes perhaps difficult to click. You have to move your hand a little bit. Oh, so much work. Oh no. But like I said, that's really nitpicking because I'm reaching at straws here. I mean, the basic idea that I want to give you is that I loved the CX-5 when it first came out. When I first tested it, and then I absolutely adored it when this new generation came out with this amazing look outside and amazing look inside as well. And now if they're going to change the infotainment and such, they don't really have to do a lot because the car really exudes Mazda-ness. I think that should be a new word. I just made it up now. Mazda-ness. All Mazdas really exude Mazda-ness, which means that when you sit in them and you drive them, they're just so nice. They're so comfortable. The steering wheel is nice, the seats are comfortable, the car rides nicely, it's pleasant to be in, it's not annoying in any way. You've got physical buttons here and there. The little rotary knob to control the infotainment is excellent. I didn't realize just how much I was missing it when I sat in newer cars that didn't have it. Most of them don't, actually. Everything is just touch. And I didn't realize just how lovely it is to have this immediate physical control so you don't have to look for little sub-menus and such. In the end, what it really comes down to is this. This is a lovely car to begin with, and Mazda can only really improve it. Unless the entire management department gets completely drunk and then takes some weird decisions. Like, let's put 3 spoilers on the roof and let's lower it by half a meter and put in a 1-cylinder engine. I don't know how you could really mess this car up, but it is, I cannot explain it. Just, you have to go and drive this car. If you're interested in bigger SUVs, not only I think is the price, this one is the fully loaded one with all the bells and whistles. I've even got ventilated seats, which I think is a must if you have leather and you're in sometimes in hotter summers. It's just so nice. You have to go and drive it to really understand how pleasant it is to drive it or to be driven in. My mother, who doesn't have much interest in cars at all, she usually doesn't even know what car we are in, as in badge, let alone model, but she said today, all Mazdas are very pleasant. And she's correct. She's completely correct. They are all extremely pleasant. Not just to be in, but to drive them. So, I think in the end, one more little tidbit, if I may. The sound of the engine. This has the 2.2 liter diesel engine, which I know I always want more power, but I honestly think this is quite plenty for this car. If you put your foot down, which unfortunately I cannot at the moment, it's actually quite sprightly. And dare I say, the diesel sounds great. It sounds torquey, meaty when you put your foot down. It's lovely, especially with the automatic transmission. But if I were to nitpick, I would make it a little quieter in city driving, especially when you're at a at a standstill and you just lightly put your foot down. It's a little bit loud perhaps, but otherwise this is a lovely car, and it's only going to get lovelier with a facelift. The base CX-5 starts at just under 27,000 euros. For a fully equipped one with a diesel engine, automatic transmission and extras, you'll be paying 48,000 euros.